Well, I think Metrolink is great.
I love Metrolink.
I think Metrolink is the best thing that came along.
I love it.
It's great.
I think it's wonderful.
I love it. I really like it.
I love the routes.
I love it. I'd recommend it to anybody.
I love it. I don't know if you can hear me say I love it an awful lot because I love it. I do.
I rely on Metrolink a whole lot.
For convenience, getting to downtown LA, it's a good service.
It's been good transportation and got us where we wanted to go and needed to be.
Thanks for having the Metrolink.
This is a great ride. We like it.
I like the lights because it goes so fast.
This mode of transportation has given me so much independence and so much freedom to do so much, but I still need to feel safe.
I feel completely safe on Metrolink. Same here.
No, safety is not a concern. I do usually ride in the back car, but under the assumption that if there is an accident, it'll be up at the front.
I worry about the safety more in the subways, but the Metrolink, it's like, I don't worry about it at all, actually. It does get a little sketchy sometimes just because there's no checking like for guns or anything, but usually people don't look very scary, so it's not that bad.
The prices are pretty expensive. I'm a student.
Don't raise your prices. It's right where it should be. I mean, I think it's fair.
For me, it actually takes about the same amount of time taking Metrolink and doing it by car. Obviously, I would prefer Metrolink to be faster, and that would be nice, but it's probably not going to happen. But I still appreciate the fact that I can just sit on the train, relax, and not having to sit in traffic. Yeah.
Maybe someday trains will even evolve to possibly having bullet trains, so we can make time better. So
I'll pay for the convenience. However, any transportation around here takes longer time. I'd rather sit in the comfort of my own car and listen to my own music than pay $5 to stop every 5 minutes and fight for a seat, or, that's just my opinion.
I have a bike, and then I work in Hollywood, so I take from Union Station, get on the red line, and then I ride the bike down to my work, about a 5-minute bike ride.
I have to ride a mile and a half to get to my bus stop, and I don't want to walk, so I want to do this. And so the buses provide a rack for the bike. And then I get to the train, and they provide another compartment for the bike. And then when I get off the train here, I'm going to be riding the bike from catching one bus to another, because sometimes they're about a mile apart, half a mile to a mile apart.
I get to use my ticket for like the red line, so I don't have to buy an extra ticket. So that's what's like one of my favorite things. It saves a little bit.
It's not very reliable sometimes.
I get here on time every day when I take Metrolink, and it's good to meet new people too, because like when you drive every day, you're only listening to the radio, but when you come through like on the train, you meet people, you get directions, you get opinions, you get a better perspective about how you're getting to where you're going actually.
The couple of problems that I've had that I think need to be improved is getting on the one car that is for the disabled, and there are people that sit there, and a lot of times the conductors are hesitant to ask them to move, and I've had encounters with people that I've asked to please let us, park our wheelchairs there because they don't want to, and they've harassed us and given us a hard time about it, and most times the conductors do speak up, but there have been several who don't. They're like, I guess, intimidated, or I don't know, but that I would love to see improved.
Well, I think Metrolink is great. I'm able to carry my bike on. As for like buses, if you get stuck with 2 bikes on a bus, you can't get on. But Metrolink offers, many opportunities to bring your bike on, and they even bring you back as late as 11:30 from, LA Union Station.
It's convenient for me. It creates less frustration in my life.
The new cars are horrible. There's no room, no sense of community. I think it was a bad move to get those cars. The seats are uncomfortable. They just don't work. The 4-seat arrangement is a much better, has a bigger sense of community where people get to chit-chat, talk, become friends, and that's what makes riding the train fun. And the newer cars, everybody's facing one way or the other way, and that's it. There is no sense of community in those cars.
Sometimes people are on their phones, they're very loud. There doesn't seem to be any any policy of keeping really loud music or really loud conversation down. And again, I'm probably just a little old and cranky.
I like the new cars because I love the seats. I like just the double seat instead of the four where you're kicking each other or whatever, stepping on somebody's toe or whatever, you know. I just love it. They can get rid of the old cars.
What we would improve is just the restrooms, make them a bit cleaner if they could.
I've heard other people talk about the restrooms, and I would have to agree. They're not terrible, but they're typical train restrooms. I think all train companies should think about a better way to do this.
I do have to commend you on the cleanliness of the train and the security. You don't have too many people going crazy on the train, and if they do, they're escorted off. And the train is always clean, so I'm quite impressed. If I was a foreigner, I'd have to give you a 10. You know, you guys are really on top of everything here.
Trains are definitely inconvenient. There aren't frequent enough stops. There aren't enough lines. They don't go enough places.
And I would say on weekends it'd be nice to have a few more trains. Sometimes I go in on a Saturday and have to wait a little bit longer time to take a train.
Right now I have to ride Amtrak during the day, and it's more expensive, although it is faster. And more options during the day would be better. Also more options on weekends.
There's not enough express trains. I wish there was more just because they're so much more convenient. Like, they just go so quickly and then you're there. It doesn't drag.